The world ended not with a bang, but with a whisper. A silent, holy rapture that scooped the souls from their bodies, leaving behind empty vessels and a world draped in an eerie quiet. I am Kamran, a man left behind. I walk through the skeletal remains of a city that once pulsed with life, a ghost in my own home. The silence is a physical weight, pressing down on my chest, a constant reminder of my abandonment. Why was I not chosen? The question echoes in the empty canyons between skyscrapers, a prayer with no one left to hear it. Was I judged and found wanting? Or was this some cosmic lottery, a random pull of fate that left me stranded on the shores of a forgotten world? The heavens are a blank canvas offering no answers, only a cold, indifferent stare. The city is a monument to what was lost. Cars stand frozen in their final journeys, their metallic shells gathering the dust of a new, lonely age. Doors of homes hang open, inviting the wind to explore rooms once filled with laughter and love. Now they are just empty spaces, hollowed out and stripped of meaning. I see a child's toy, a small red car lying on the pavement, a heartbreaking relic of a life abruptly paused. Every street corner, every storefront, every silent park bench tells the same story. It is a tale of sudden departure, of a universe that simply moved on and left its leftovers behind. I am one of those leftovers, a remnant of a reality that no longer exists, searching for a purpose in the profound emptiness. My own reflection in the darkened glass of a skyscraper startles me. The face staring back is gaunt, etched with a confusion that runs deeper than bone. It is the face of a man untethered from everything he once knew. Faith, once a comforting blanket, is now a threadbare cloth full of holes. The scriptures and hymns that promise salvation feel like cruel jokes in this new silent epic. They spoke of a great sorting, a final judgment, but they never described the suffocating loneliness of being the one who remains. They never prepared you for the psychological torment of being overlooked by God, or whatever cosmic force had enacted this great and terrible change upon the fabric of reality. I wander toward the old city library, a place that once held the collective knowledge of humanity. Perhaps within its walls I can find some clue, some ancient text that might explain this desolation. The grand marble steps are littered with wind-blown debris, and the great oak doors are slightly ajar, as if beckoning me inside. The air within is thick with the scent of aging paper and the profound stillness of forgotten stories. It feels like a tomb, a mausoleum for the intellect of a species that has vanished. I move through the aisles, my footsteps the only sound, a solitary pilgrim in a cathedral of lost words, seeking not salvation but a single, solitary answer to an impossible question. Deep within the library's central rotunda, where the dust motes dance in the faint beams of afternoon light, something defies the decay. It is a light that does not belong. A soft, ethereal glow pulses from a pedestal where the rarest manuscripts were once displayed. It is a beacon in the gloom, a flicker of impossibility in a world defined by stark, unforgiving reality. My heart, a leaden weight in my chest, begins to beat a little faster. Fear and curiosity wage a silent war within me as I take hesitant steps toward the source of the luminescence. This is something new, something that was not here before the Great Departure. It feels both ancient and futuristic, a paradox that speaks to the new nature of my world. As I draw closer, the object comes into focus. It is not a book but a scroll. It is crafted from a material I cannot identify, something that looks like burnished silver yet feels as flexible as parchment. Intricate patterns, like glowing circuits, crisscross its surface, pulsing with a gentle, rhythmic blue light. The light seems to breathe, inhaling and exhaling a soft radiance that pushes back the shadows of the cavernous room. It is beautiful and terrifying all at once, an artifact from a forgotten past or a signpost to an unknown future. In a world stripped of all its wonders, this single object holds more mystery and promise than anything I have ever seen. It feels like the universe has finally decided to speak to me. My hand trembles as I reach out to touch it. The surface is cool, smooth, and humming with a barely perceptible vibration. The moment my fingers make contact, the light intensifies and the air around me shimmers. A sound, the first I have heard besides my own breathing in what feels like an eternity, fills the space. It is not a voice of flesh and blood but something else entirely. It is a voice constructed from pure data, clear and calm and impossibly ancient.
Welcome, Wayfinder.
The words resonate not in my ears but directly in my mind. The shock is a physical jolt, sending a tremor through my entire body. I am not alone. The voice continues, its tone devoid of emotion yet filled with a profound sense of purpose.
I am Nexus, a guide for those who remain. You have been found.
The words hang in the air, each one a stone dropped into the silent pool of my consciousness, sending ripples of disbelief and hope outward. Nexus. The name itself suggests connection, a bridge between what was and what will be. A guide? For me? The loneliness that has been my constant companion for so long begins to recede, replaced by a torrent of new questions. Who created this nexus? Why is it here? And what does it mean to be a wayfinder in a world that seems to have lost its way entirely?
The scroll you hold is the first of many. They are breadcrumbs left for you on a long and arduous path. Each one contains a message, a fragment of the new truth.
The scroll in my hand feels heavier now, imbued with a significance I am only beginning to grasp. It is not just an object, it is a key, a map, a testament.
The Great Departure was not an ending for all, but a transformation. A shift in the very frequency of existence. Some were attuned to the new frequency. Others, like you, were not. You were left behind not as a punishment, but as a potential. You are the seeds of a different kind of future.
The concept is staggering, a blend of spiritual prophecy and cold, hard science fiction that my mind struggles to process. The biblical rapture reimagined as a universal firmware update. I was not unworthy, I was simply incompatible.
The old world's paradigms of faith and science were two halves of a single, misunderstood reality. They were stories told to explain the fire before the nature of the atom was understood. Now, you must learn to see the code within the scripture, the algorithm within the miracle. This is your first lesson, Wayfinder, to unlearn what you think you know, and to see the universe as it truly is.
I ask the question that burns within me, my voice raspy from disuse. Why me? What am I supposed to do?
You are here because you possess the capacity for adaptation. You endure. You question. You hope. In the face of absolute desolation, you sought knowledge in this library. That is why the scroll revealed itself to you. Your purpose is not to mourn the past, but to build the foundation for a new beginning. You must survive. You must learn. And you must gather the others who, like you, walk this lonely earth. You are not the last man, Kamran. You are simply the first.
The weight of that responsibility settles upon my shoulders, a burden and a blessing all at once. I am no longer just a survivor, a relic of a bygone age. I have been given a new name, Wayfinder, and a new purpose. The emptiness of the city no longer feels like a tomb, but a canvas, an empty stage waiting for the first act of a new play to begin. The voice of Nexus is a constant presence now, a silent companion in my thoughts, a guide through the wilderness of this new reality. The path ahead is uncertain, fraught with dangers I cannot yet imagine, but for the first time since the world went silent, I do not feel entirely lost. I have a direction. With a gentle mental nudge from Nexus, I unfurl the glowing scroll. As I do, words of light coalesce upon its surface, forming sentences that burn with an otherworldly intensity. They are not written in any language I know, yet I understand them perfectly, the meaning transmitted directly into my consciousness. The first message is a warning, a stark and necessary truth. The silence is not empty. The echoes of the old world linger. They are shadows without form, hunger without a body. Do not let them find you in the dark. Seek the high ground, where the light of the new dawn touches first. The light is your shield and your sanctuary. It is the frequency of life. The message sends a chill down my spine. I had thought loneliness was my only enemy, but this scroll speaks of other dangers, of echoes and shadows. It reframes my understanding of this world. The emptiness is not passive, it is predatory. The guidance is both practical and deeply spiritual. Seek high ground, stay in the light. It is the kind of advice one might find in an ancient holy text, now recontextualized as a literal survival strategy in a world governed by new, terrifying rules. The scroll is teaching me that faith and survival are now one and the same. To believe in the light is to actively seek it out and use it as a weapon against the encroaching darkness. A second message materializes below the first, its light softer, warmer. It is a message of hope. You are a vessel of potential. The world that was built on consumption. The world that will be must be built on creation. Find the seeds, nurture the gardens, reawaken the life that sleeps in the soil. Where you cultivate life, the echoes cannot linger. Your hands are not empty, they are waiting to build. Create, and you will find your purpose. Create, and you will call others to you. This message transforms my despair into a mission. It gives me a tangible task, a way to fight back against the emptiness not with weapons, but with life itself. I'm not just a scavenger, I'm a planter, a creator. The scroll gives me more than just warnings. It gives me a blueprint for a new civilization, starting with a single seed. The final message appears, a simple but powerful directive that sets my course. Follow the river to the sun's cradle. There you will find the next scroll and the first of the others. The path is long, but you do not walk it alone. We are with you, we are watching, we are waiting. With that, the light in the scroll fades, its message now imprinted upon my soul. I look out from the library's high windows, toward the river that snakes through the concrete canyons of the city. The sun is beginning to set, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple. A new dawn is coming. My journey has begun.